Lechadodi. Thank you, very nice. So still singing, cheery beery bim. Als ik wil zingen, likrat kala. Oi, so still singing, cheery beery bum. Just wanted to make the rabbi a little nervous with that pause.
I feel so nervous.
Well, if I hadn't said anything, you would have gone, uh-oh, what happened? Lechadodi, chiri biri bim, likrat kala, chiri biri bum. Lechadodi, likrat kala, chiri biri 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 bum, chiri bim, chiri bum, chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum, chiri bum, chiri bim, chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bum. Chiri bum, chiri bim, chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum. Chiri bim, chiri bum, chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bum. Als ik wil zingen lechadodi, zo still zingen chiri biri bim. Als ik wil zingen likrat kala, zo still zingen chiri biri bum. Lechadodi, likrat kala. Lechadodi likrat kala. Chiri biri 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 bum. Chiri bim, chiri bum. Chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum. Chiri bum, chiri bim. Chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bum. Chiri bim, chiri bum. Chiri bim bum bim bum bim bum. Chiri bum. Bim, bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri biri bim bum bum. I chiri biri bum biri bum biri bum biri bim bum bim bum bim bum 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 bim bum bim bum bim bum.
Very nice. Who would have known that Yiddish could blend with Spanish guitar? But you made it happen. You made it happen. Thank you, Gordon. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos to all of you. You might have noticed we're playing around with the seating a little bit. Give us some feedback, Gordon or me or Lauren or our president, Roberta Solomon. Before the high holidays, we just want to try some different setups, create a little bit more of a sense of intimacy. You may like it, you may not like it, but definitely give us feedback as we try different formulations in the weeks ahead. Before we start, I just want to acknowledge we did a dedication of a memorial plaque a little bit earlier. The mother of Naomi Petrick, the grandmother of Max, and the mother-in-law of Jesse, who died in 2016. And Naomi is here with her sisters, Deborah and Rachel. And we did the ceremony just a few moments ago. But I would like to call them up again to light our Shabbat candles for us to kick off our service. And you can follow along on page 120. Yep.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Please turn to page 142. Let's continue singing Shalom Alechem. You know, I'm in the middle of working on my High Holy Day sermons, believe it or not, even though it's still a few weeks off. Most rabbis I know are already hard at work, along with music directors. Gordon and I have been meeting as well. And a lot of the decisions I have to make are based on all the horrible things happening in the world. And unfortunately, there are a lot. And I have to decide what I want to talk about and what insight I have to offer from the Jewish tradition about what's going on. But one of the things that is always so wonderful about Judaism is its focus on peace, and on peace as a goal, peace as one of our highest aspirations, along with justice. So every Shabbat we have an opportunity to sing about peace through this song, Shalom Alechem, which was only written about 400 or 500 years ago, but it's pretty iconic in terms of the Friday night service. So page 142.
Roberta was thinking, wow, Gordon doesn't look that old.
Did you write this? Did you write this?
400 years
400
ago.
years ago.
Yes. This is a different melody. I do, and I read at a 434-year-old age. We're going to do I think this is a Debbie Friedman melody, but I'm not sure. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Please turn the page. The Chatzi Kaddish is on 144.
Yitkada, Yitkada, Shemei Rabbah, V'yamad Yirach Yirutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon U'v'yom Echon, U'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kahariv, Veimeru, Amen. Yehesh me Rabba Mevarach, Olam Umal Me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalav, Shmei Kudusha B'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushvechata v'nechemata, damiram b'yama, v'imeru, amen.
Please rise, page 146.
Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Please remain standing as we turn to page 149. And I invite you to join me at the top of the page as we read in English. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And please join me also in the English at the top of page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Leolam Va'ed. If you go to the inside back of your book, you should find You Shall Love. You shall love Adonai. You shall love Adonai. You shall love Adonai, your God, with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being, with all your Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. You shall love Adonai. You shall love Adonai. You shall love Adonai, your God. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, that you will remember, do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God. You shall love Adonai. You shall love Adonai. You shall love Adonai, your God.
Please be seated. Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Mi Chamocha is on page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze Elenu ve'amru, ze Elenu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh.
Page 161. Please join me in English at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom Elenu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Hamidenu Shomrenu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Hamidenu Shomrenu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong and right. Amen. 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 Amen.
The Amidah prayer is on page 164. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov. Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia. Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, Mechayeh hakol b'rachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umikayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Mi chamocha bagavurot. Umido melach. Melech meimit umechaye. Umatmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai. Mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh. Ukdoshim v'kol yom yahalalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai. Ha'el hakadosh. Top of 180. The good news is there's only one note to this song. The bad news is a lot of words. But you can always just sing la la or just hum. We're just going to do the first few lines of this, and it's the same words over and over. 3 different parts. The first one being the one with essentially one note. Elohai nitzor lishonim mera usvatai midaber mirma valim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ka'afar lakol tieh Elohai. So we just add Elohai at the end of that. Those are the 3 lines. Let's try that again. Elohai nitzor lishonim mera usvatai midaber mirma Valim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lachol tieh Elohai. Elohai. If you want to get a little more daring. Elohai nitzor lishoni mera usvatai midaber mirma Valim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lachol tieh Elohai. Elohai. Let's try that again. Elohai nitzor lishoni mera usvatai midaber mirma Valim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lachol tieh Elohai. Elohai. The last one's a third higher. Elohai nitzor lishoni mera usvatai midaber mirma Valim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lachol tieh Elohai. Elohai. Elohai nitzor lishoni mera usvatai midaber mirma Valim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lachol tieh Elohai. Elohai.
At this point in our service, we pause to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our CBS family or those known and loved by our congregation. Lynn Feingold, Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camisia, Joshua Hyman, Diane Butler, Jesse Friedman, Beverly Eigner, Ed Eston, Marjorie Gilberg, Michael Blend, Jim Mates, and Scott Cohn. And if anyone has a name they wish to add, please do so. The Mishaberach is on page 511.
Mishaberach Avotenu Kor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Kor HaBracha Lamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos again, and special welcome to those of you who are with us for the first time. At this time of year, a number of years ago, I traveled through Hawaii. And one place in particular, an historical park on the Big Island, I know many of you have probably been to the Big Island, strikes me as especially relevant tonight as we read the double Torah portion, Matot Maseh, which we'll be studying tomorrow morning, and it's the book of Numbers, chapters 30 through 36. In old Hawaiian culture, if a person broke a taboo, betrayed a trust, harmed someone, or was a non-combatant during a time of war, they were in big trouble, regardless of whether they'd committed an actual transgression or were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Often, they only had one place to turn in order to find safety. It was called a pu'u honua, a place of refuge. It was the ruins of one of these places of refuge that I visited during my trip. Once inside the boundaries of the pu'u honua, nobody could touch you. No blood could be shed within its walls. The place of refuge was sacred ground, and anyone who violated its sanctity would then themselves become guilty of a great offense. If we look back even further into our own ancient narrative in the Torah, we find a parallel tradition. In a somewhat obscure section of this week's Torah portion, in Numbers chapter 35, we find a description of the Arei HaMiklat, the Israelite cities of refuge. These 6 cities of refuge, 3 were on the west side of the Jordan River and 3 were on the east side of the Jordan, served a vital role in ancient biblical life. Like their Hawaiian counterparts, These cities were the last hope for some people, places of protection where no blood could be spilled. In that era and context of inter-tribal vendettas, you were as good as dead, even if the death you were responsible for was purely the result of accident. The priests and Levites would be of little help to you if someone wanted to avenge a death by coming after you as payback. And since Judaism is a religion based on justice that urges us over and over again to pursue it, tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue, it had to find a just solution to this dilemma. The Arei Miklat, the cities of refuge, were created for precisely this reason, both to save innocent lives and to try to construct a society where justice, not vengeance, was the guiding principle for the population. With the pursued individual safe within the confines of a sanctuary city, the wheels of justice could start to turn. Witnesses could be called, trials held, and judgments made. If the accidental death was caused by negligence or some other transgression, then the appropriate punishment would be meted out or the proper restitution made. If the unintentional death was not the result of negligence, then no crime had truly occurred, and the innocent person could leave the city, if that person chose to, and try to start over again with a clean slate. The city of refuge would have saved a life. And as later Judaism teaches us, one who saves a single life is treated as if they have saved the entire world. As was the situation in native Hawaii and back in the biblical era, there are still people in this world seeking protection and shelter. There are still refugees out there in search of safe havens. Not only the refugees in Ukraine, in Africa, and other parts of the world, but refugees right here. Refugees with broken hearts, wounded souls, and perplexed minds. We need to welcome those people. We need to create open, hospitable environments within which we make room for seeking, questioning, challenging, evolving. Today, our synagogues and Jewish institutions must become sanctuaries, communities that are welcoming and inclusive, that open their tents as far as they can stretch. The postmodern sanctuary can no longer be a mere physical structure with walls, doors, and pulpits. Rather, it should be a mode of being, a refuge for seekers and strugglers, a resting place for the restless and the weary, a shelter where personal and communal transformation is not only possible, but encouraged. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. We continue now with the Elenu prayer on page 586. And again, if you are able, please rise.
Elenu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tein gedula le'yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gora aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Ushemo Echad.
Please be seated.
By the way, Rabbi, I just wanted to let you know I'm about to hire our choir for High Holidays. They're all sitting right here
Oh,
in this row.
Do we have the budget to fly them from Boston and New York?
I think
We'll find it.
so.
We'll find it. Right, Boston and New York. I have the honor to invite friend and board member Naomi Petrick to come to the Bima to share some important announcements with you.
Yeah, you guys did you all go to camp or what? Oh, it was all you. Wow, that's great.
Shalom, good Shabbos. Tomorrow morning, Rabbi Goldstein will lead Torah study in person at CBS and on Zoom at 10:30. On August 5th, join Rabbi Goldstein in Gordon and special guest Napa PD Chief Jennifer Gonzalez.
Have her hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, would you hold it?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Just around the corner, we have the Hayam Jewish Food, Wine, and Beer Festival at Ciacopia on August 7th. There will be entertainment of all kinds, including features of CBS community members, the general vendors, and entertainment. You can find details and tickets on Eventbrite. Saturday, August 13th at 10:30 a.m., we are honored to celebrate Jonah Slater Lewis's bar mitzvah, online and in person. Shabbat, August 19th, join us for a pre-service slice of pizza at 5:30 p.m. Make sure to RSVP online and services at 6 p.m. We will have Elenu Wilmert speaking on her experience this summer with Hands for Peace and Ongeg, sponsored by the Cohen Wilmert family. August 21st will be the first day of religious school. If you have not already registered for school or have questions, contact Leah. August 26th, the PASCANs and Fram Friends will be honoring CBS past president Phil Fram, who will be visiting for his birthday with a special oneg. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Anita Pensler, James Bronk, Hillary Homsey, Aiden Harvey, Kim Borders, Sally Besser, Kathleen Sandoval, Phyllis Clyde, Stephen Guggenheim, Cheryl Warfield, Julie Garian, and Lucy Miller. Happy anniversary to Susan and Pack Warfield, Elaine and David Freed, Chris and Marta Mariski, and Dana and Jason Kreis.
Thank you. I think, Gordon, you guys have an anniversary on Sunday too, right?
Yeah, I guess I didn't make the list.
You didn't make the list. Well, now you made the list.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Mazel tov.
Thanks.
As we near the end of our service, our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We honor those who have died during the past 12 months. Arnold Trombler, Erica Cornelison, Gladys Shubin, Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rab Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Banco Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, Norman Charney, David Alpert, Renee Munoz, Michael Kossin, and Paul Dworsky. We also remember and honor the art sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Steve Woolston, Abraham Solomon, Nathan Bisberg, Leah Sandler Provience, Robert Blattis, Michael Perlman, Renee Gaines, Joseph E. Hochstatter, Alvin Shanker, Harry Sherman, Elizabeth Levinson, Yaudi Snyder, Molly Greendorfer, and Harold Savinar. And if anyone has a name they wish to add to this list, I invite you to please do so. The mourner's cottage is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah be'alma divra chayotei v'yomlik malchutei b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'gala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say amen. Please be seated. We have our final song, and then we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi. And Gordon, I know you've done, you did Spanish guitar, you did Yiddish. I know you know Ladino as well, but maybe you'll just sing something in Hebrew. I don't know.
Okay.
Or
Well,
English.
If I had known, I would have done a Hawaiian. tune,
Hawaiian,
but
yeah, you
I
could have.
didn't get into it.
Right.
Are
You
you
could add
going?
mahalo to it.
Okay. Well, I'll let you throw that in at the opportune moment. We're going to just do something just kind of joyous that we haven't done. Very simple, page 655. Come, let us go forth and dance. Kind of an echoey one where you kind of repeat almost exactly what I say. I sing, Havanetze bimachol, and you sing, Havanetze bimcholot. Slightly different melody. Havanetze bimachol, Havanetze bimcholot, Havanetze bimachol, Havanetze bimcholot. Then I go, Havanetze bimachol, Havanetze bimcholot, 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 Havanetze bimachol, Havanetze bimcholot. Then we all go like this. Yale, 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 yale. Yale, 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 yale. Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'macholot, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'macholot. Yale, 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 yale. Yale, 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 yale. Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'macholot, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'macholot, Havanetze b'machol, Havanetze b'macholot. Yale, yale. Yale, 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 yale.
There was the Spanish, right?
There you go, just for you.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to we're going to rise and say the Kiddush and Motzi. Max, I'm going to ask you to come up. And Sean, did you decide whether you want to join your cousin? You're good? You're going to pass. Okay. Max, that means you get all the adulation yourself. So your mom is in the wine industry. I think it's okay for you to hold the wine. Okay. And we're going to all do the Motzi. So Gordon, would you lead us? We're going to do Kiddush. Would you lead us?
Well, I'll let Max, you want to start it?
Yeah, Max, you know it. You want to start it for us?
Go ahead. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
Hayam. All right, I'll take a sip. That was sort of part reciting and part singing, right? That was good. Okay, I definitely know you know the Motzi. So I'm going to let you hold this, and can you chant the Motzi, and we'll all do it with you? Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Let's do one more with a chant.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom.